It was the late autumn of 1993 in a small suburban town, the kind of place where children still played freely in the parks and neighbors greeted each other warmly. But one evening, something unusual was left behind in the Central Park, right on the cracked wooden bench near the swings. It was a doll, small, porcelain-faced, with eyes so lifelike that anyone passing by would feel as though they were being watched. Its dress was torn, stained with soil, and yet its face looked untouched, as if time itself refused to touch it. That night, a man named Richard Coleman was walking through the park. He was in his early 40s, an ordinary factory worker who often took the long route home to clear his mind. As he passed the bench, the glint of the doll's glassy eyes caught his attention. Strange, he whispered to himself, who would leave a doll like this here? Richard picked it up. The doll felt heavier than it should have, almost unnaturally cold. A faint, earthy smell clung to it, something between damp soil and old wood. Though uneasy, Richard convinced himself it was harmless. He smiled faintly, thinking it would make a perfect gift for his young daughter, Emily. When he brought the doll home, Emily's face lit up. She hugged it tightly, as though it were her new best friend. His wife, Margaret, however, felt an instant chill the moment she saw it. "Richard, where did you get this?" she asked nervously. "Just found it in the park," he replied casually. No one was around. Thought Emily would like it. Margaret stared into the doll's eyes for a long moment. "It feels wrong," she murmured. But Richard brushed her fears aside. That night, things began to change. At exactly 3:07 a.m., Margaret awoke to the sound of footsteps in the hallway. She thought it was Emily. She walked to her daughter's room, but Emily was fast asleep, hugging the doll tightly. Still, the footsteps continued, echoing faintly in the walls. The next morning, Emily insisted that the doll had spoken to her. "She told me her name is Annora," Emily said with a smile. "She wants to stay with us forever." Margaret's blood ran cold. Over the next few days, strange events unfolded. Doors slammed shut on their own. Cold drafts swept through the house even when every window was locked. Richard tried to rationalize it all, but Margaret grew increasingly unsettled. One evening, she found Emily sitting in the corner of her room, whispering to the doll as though answering someone's questions. "What are you saying, honey?" Margaret asked gently. "She says she doesn't like you," Emily replied innocently. Margaret's hands trembled. She snatched the doll away, but the moment she touched it, a sharp pain shot through her chest as though invisible claws had raked across her heart. She dropped it instantly. That night, the Coleman family would begin their descent into horror. Emily woke screaming at midnight, pointing at the corner of her room. "Annora is angry. She says you can't take her away," she cried. Richard rushed in, only to freeze when he too saw something, shadows twisting unnaturally against the walls, forming the outline of a woman's figure with hollow, empty eyes. The figure whispered in a voice that didn't belong to this world, "You brought me home. Now you cannot send me away." From that night onward, Emily changed. She no longer laughed, no longer played. Her eyes looked distant, as though something else peered out from within. Richard tried to destroy the doll, burn it, smash it, even bury it. But no matter what he did, it returned. Always on Emily's bed, untouched, perfect. And then came the deaths. First, Margaret. She was found in the kitchen, her face twisted in pure terror, eyes wide open. Yet no cause of death was ever discovered. Emily only smiled when the neighbors asked where her mother was. "Annora took her," she whispered. Then Richard. He was discovered in the basement, his body mangled, his neck snapped at an impossible angle. Police ruled it an accident, but no one could explain the marks burned into the wall, symbols resembling ancient runes. Emily was never found. When the police entered her room, all that remained was the doll, sitting perfectly on the bed, its glass eyes reflecting the flashing lights of the patrol cars. To this day, locals say the house is cursed. Some claim they hear a little girl's laughter when passing by late at night. Others swear they've seen a doll in the window, staring out with eyes that never blink. The story of the cursed doll became a legend in that quiet town. Parents warned their children never to pick up abandoned toys. But every few years, rumors surface: another family, Another tragedy, always connected to a doll that should have never been touched. And so the cursed Annora waits, patient and silent, for her next home.